Is this one of those TikTok videos where they ask you a question like that and you go, yeah, I'm a good person, and then they go, I don't know, have you done this? You're in VR chat right now.
Nobody is fully a good person, and if they say they are, then that's a lie.
You say yeah.
I said yeah. What the fuck? You can't tell if you're a good person or not.
Yeah, but it depends what you're going by. Are you going by like your own moral compass?
Are you a good person? Are you a fucking bitch or not?
Yeah, but
The only thing I just wanted to let the entire world know is God is great, Peter is good, and people are crazy. Good night, everyone. I'll be here all week.
Define good person. If you speak economically, I'm a horrible person because what I do kills jobs. Yeah, automation takes away jobs. So, like I said, it depends. Is it my personality or is it what I do as a whole? And I don't feel sad for people that lose their jobs because of the things I do.
Honestly say to you, no, because honestly and truthfully, every human has an agenda, and if they say they don't have an agenda, you know they're lying. Second of all, no human is truly good for the simple fact, if you threaten them, we are the most deadliest freaking species on the planet. We have no fangs, we have no claws, we have literally killed and eaten everything on this planet. We will run you down and eat you. The only thing about humans that makes any sense is that we fight our own natural instincts to be better. Plain and simple.
Just evolve, man. Like, we're all monkeys, but we're greater than that. We're capable of more than that. Be self-aware. Look at what you're doing. Don't just sit there and accept who you are right away, because that's not negative. That's self-improvement. And if you remain that way, then you're just gonna hold yourself down. You're gonna hold everybody else down around you. Learn to grow up. Learn to evolve. Best thing anybody could ever do for themselves. Best thing I've ever done. I wouldn't have so much to say if I hadn't done that for myself. So
말보단 행동이지. It would be honorable to subscribe because actions speak louder than words.
I do. I am a writer, actually, and that's a message I want to bring forth to other people as well. I want people to look within themselves and try to understand who they are as a person, and also understand that everyone else in life is learning a lesson, and we are all feel the same way, think the same way, but based upon where we are in life, we are all growing and learning lessons just differently and experiencing things differently, but we're all trying to do the same thing, and that's just survive.
Well, okay, because everybody has a bad side to them, and I say half and half because I'm aware of my bad side, but I'm also aware of my good side, and I think that I'm a very good person to the people that deserve to have that given to them. But if someone treats me horribly and stuff like that, not necessarily a bad person, but I'm not going to be that same good person. So I'd say half and half.
It's an iffy question. I mean, I think I'm kind of a good person, yeah. I mean, we've all done some bad things. I'd say I'm a pretty good person, yeah. Just somebody who tries their best to be kind to others and tries their best to be a good person, as good as they can be.
Just give your best and not pay too much attention to other human beings, because at the end of the day, you have to survive and you have to make money, you have to, succeed. So you can't pay attention to everything, and that will lead you to a immoral path sometimes, but you always have to make the decision for yourself. What is best for you and not what's best for others, because it's a eat or be eaten.
Yeah, I think I'm better than average. Well, I mean, there's a lot of bad people out there, I feel like I have a bit more empathy than the average person. Someone who cares about the planet, cares about the world, other people's well-being, the well-being of animals, all that kind of stuff,
Depends on how you're raised and how the mentality of your community is formed as you grow up. If you grow up in a very awful community and they teach you bad morals, then you're of course going to have those morals as standard. It's all about perception. And if your perception is as wrong as the next person, then who's to say morality is something that is finite?
No, I just throw chickens off the balcony.
Yeah, I think I'm an amazing person. He has Roblox girlfriends.
I like to think I'm a good person. Sometimes when I go shopping and at checkout they ask you, do you want to donate? Sometimes they say yes, how it depends how do you value a good person. I feel like everybody's got different values on being a good person. And also cognitive bias comes in because everyone thinks that they're a good person because everyone wants to do what's right in their heart and in their mind, but what other people might conceive as right, others can conceive as wrong. So what is the true meaning of a good person?
Sinful deeds, I will say that now. If you're going by Christian standards, out of wedlock, children, I haven't killed anyone, stole stuff. I've been, just generally not a great guy until recently. That's why I'm trying to change that with alcohol.
See, listen, that question is kind of okay, if you're a psychopath,
you don't know you're a psychopath. You know what I mean? You know, like if you're a good person, you don't know you're a good person.
We're like the best people.
I think we're very amazing people, actually.
Morally, I guess it'd just be like,
Morally?
since we're so close to being gods, it just feels like by definition we just kind of have to be there.
How would I define good? Somebody who doesn't cheat, somebody who doesn't lie. Oh wait, never mind, I'm not a good person, sorry.
That's a great question. I don't know, not happy. And then I kind of just ignore people. But then again, I always get ignored. And so I just like give that feeling back. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just tired. I get ignored all the time. So it's just like, well, I don't feel like talking to anyone if they're just going to ignore me. I'm being honest. I haven't really met any good people. So I don't really have those answers.
It depends on what you believe a good person is. I mean, I'd like to think that I would reach out and do anything I can to help other people. Yes. But again, it's like, what do you define as a good person? A person that is looking to better themselves each and every day and looks within themselves to find who they are, and like not only that, but like are also helping to willing to help other people grow as well.
So for me, I feel like a good person would be someone who doesn't really step on other people's toes, lets people live how they want to live, doesn't get in the way, as long as nobody's hurting anybody. More power to you, right?
He's just fine.
Best as I can, yeah. I mean, there's always going to be inner judgments, and it's about keeping those inner judgments to yourself and not casting them on other people and bringing them down about it. There's always going to be something you disagree with, even whether or not it's hurting you. There are things that you may, as a person, not like to see other people doing, but at the end of the day, you got to remember that's their choice, that's their life, and just shut your mouth. And as much as even bothered, there's been experiences myself where I don't like it, but you just got to let it be, right?
Do I think I'm a good person? No, I'm a very neutral person, very objectively neutral. If I see someone that is very negative, I will react negatively to them. If I see someone good, I will match their goodness. Kind of. It's like I feel like shitters deserve to get shit on, and like good people deserve to just have that be reciprocated. I don't know. It depends on the mood, I guess.
That question's kind of like open-ended, isn't it? Because that depends. Like everyone could have their different definitions of what a good person is, and I think a lot of people might strive to be a good person. That doesn't necessarily mean they meet that. I myself would say I try to be, but that's up to other people if I succeed in that or not.
From my standpoint, yes. From others, not so sure. Because you know there's those moments where you always want to help people, but then you have people on the corner begging for money. I don't see a reason to give them. If you give them money, they're just gonna go out and buy whatever they want. It could be drugs, weapons, just stuff to make themselves become even worse. So in that standpoint, they might think I'm a bad person. But the reason why I don't do that, and well, you already know the reason why.
Philosopher over here, damn. So if someone's willing to help out others, I think that's what matters the most.
I think a good person is somebody that tries to do the right thing when nobody else is around.
I try to take care of people that need to be taken care of, and help them and stuff, but at the end of the day I have to be good to myself.
I try to be, but I know I'm not. That's just unfortunate.
I think what makes somebody a good person is having patience, fantastic communication skills, and the ability to listen to other people. I think that pretty much cures all the problems.
So I'm not like an asshole all the time, but there's just some days where I just hate everybody and just act like a dick to everybody.
Just because you're going through something doesn't necessarily mean that's all there is in your life. There's a lot more. For instance, just because you may have been punished as a child doesn't necessarily mean everything you were punished for was your fault.
I mean, and I think on everybody, it takes some self-training to do that. You got to remember, think for yourself. How am I going to look at this in the third person? How am I going to look at this a week from now, right? Because we've all done it. We've looked back like I was a dumbass for saying that. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that, right? But we've all done it, right? So you kind of got to look at yourself as somebody else would be looking at you right now, right?
I certainly try to be. There are times where I can't. There are times where I'm not, a bit more selfish than some scenarios that would incur that I shouldn't. But I understand everyone has flaws. But I think my raising point, a lot of good people, which I believe is the most population, is we try our best. Good people mean well. They just don't always do well, but they certainly try their best. So, answer your question, yes, but not 100%, because no one is.
Want help a certain way. So, as I said, the people on the corners, you don't want to give them money because of drugs and stuff. You just give them food, the basics, necessities that they need, rather than money. You got to give them something that can't harm but you still want to be able to help. Food, water, stuff like that. I've never given any of them money in that circumstance.
I think that's a very complicated question to ask. I think in some aspects I am, but in some aspects I'm not. I'm not sure if that's really a binary question, you know? Not sure if there really is a yes or no.
I've done a lot of bad shit in my life. You chose the wrong person to ask that question to. No offense.
I think what defines a good person is a lot to do with putting self above others or not doing that. And when I think about the last 10 years or so, I like to think that I did not put myself above others more than I put others above myself. I would say for sure a selfless person is a good person, but not necessarily every good person is selfless. And to caveat that, nobody is ever 100% selfless, so it's more of a ratio thing than a like on and off switch.
Past is the past. I was a horrible person in my past. I stole from people, not like actually people from like stores, because I was just young. I did my thing. I changed, but you know, you shouldn't be judged for what you did in your past.
I don't know, because like, I guess depending on your situation, and because like there are things that I've done that I'm not proud of, but I think it kind of balances out just because of shit that's happened to me. Honestly, because like I feel like I've got a lot of empathy for people, and I definitely hate like seeing people in pain. That's not something I would inflict. Definitely someone who doesn't purposely make other people's lives harder or painful or difficult, which is harder, but you know, someone who doesn't just make it. See, I see, you know, a good person is someone who is kind. They, you know, even if it's just smiling at someone on the street or just, you know, helping out with, you know, there's a lot of different things you can do, a lot of small things you can do that really help other people, and it doesn't even take that much. But a lot of people, they're so selfish and wrapped up in themselves. This current culture and climate, you know, that's what's expected of people.
As a human, we're not black and white. We are in the middle. We're a gray area. Because I can easily do such a shitty thing, but still be a good person. It's not 100% this or 100% that. So Jekyll and Hyde is the middle of that, where you're constantly fighting and thinking about what you want to do in life, whether you want to take a better road or a worse road, but it's never going to be 100%.
The morality between a good and a bad person is, like I said, entirely subjective. Every bad guy is a good guy in their own mind. I will agree with him that I think I'm a good guy based on my own values as a person, whether that's helping others, being a positive attitude, trying to relate to others. I like to think that that's what's considered a good guy, but hey man, it's completely subjective.
For the most part, I'm not a perfect person, but a good person, sure. Someone who can recognize that harm is bad, and that can recognize when their actions do harm, and try and fix that so that they don't always do harm. I don't know. That's a good question.
Respectfully, I keep it 100 with people, so I don't talk shit to nobody, you know. I choose not to act a fool. I don't like fighting with people, even in internet life. It's just a decision I make. I try to stay away from confrontation.
You know, I'm not perfect. I always have things that I'm looking to improve on, but I think I do my best always, even though I'm working towards things at all times.
But I guess my own view of it is just trying to do the best with the people that you have. You know, look out for the people that you consider close, and definitely try to do yourself. You definitely try to do the best of yourself with people you don't even know. You know, extend a certain kindness. You know, like a very generic example is, you know, homeless. You know, like you see someone asking for change. You know, you give them money. You don't know them, but you want to just try to do a little bit of niceness to some people.
Yes, I try to be my best person, and I like to be nice to everybody. You know, and try to make everybody happy. Someone who's nice, helpful. You know, will like do stuff for you, even you don't pay them money, and like they're always there.
Depends on who you ask, but I'd say I'm trying to be the best person I can be, and that's all I can do. People that make other people's days better, people that make other people feel better just from interacting with them, people that you can depend on. I say those are good people.
I think I'm a good person. You know, like my job, I help old people. You know, I sell furniture and appliances, so I help old people So I feel like that's a good thing to do, you know, because we sell it at a good price. We're not trying to like most businesses around us will jack the price up because old people will pay it, whereas we sell at a reasonable price.
I guess I would define good by being helpful, and for example, a good person would answer your questions, right? They would take the time out of their life. Right, there you go.
I would describe myself as like closer to neutral. I mean, like I have my moments where like I'm selfish, but I also have good moments too. Or there's just moments where I don't act at all.
I'm the kind of person that would really like to think of myself as someone who thinks of other people before he acts, which is what I think is a good person. I don't know. Sometimes I think I get like too humble, and it's like I don't mean to brag. It's just like I try to think of myself a good person. I try to be really nice to my friends. I try to be considerate of the kind of people they are, and just try to be considerate of everyone. Because that's what I consider a good person.
I think I try to be a good person, and I hope I'm a good person. I teach. I'm a teacher. I'm an English teacher. I teach and help a lot of people learn English, and I know for a fact that I'm much friendlier than a lot of other teachers are at this kind of job. And I try to be very open and considerate to my students. So I would say if I'm going from that, I think I'm pretty decent.
Selflessness, but like not to a degree where you're like harming yourself for other people's sake. I had a problem with that. I always put other people above myself, and then it bit me in the butt. So then I realized I have to find the right balance. And then there's also like just learning when to do stuff for other people, or listening instead of just like just constantly joking. Because sometimes I just want to joke, and other people want to be serious, and then I have to reel back my normal attitude, which is just jokes.
I'm just trying to make sure everyone has a good, happy time in life. So that's kind of my value as a person with others. So some people might think that laws mean that you're a good person, but I don't know. I would say that you can disagree with laws and still think you're a good person. So
you always see celebrated of people who are doing, oh, this gentleman spent his weekend at the food bank. Like that's what we should be doing. Everyone should have done that, you know. And that actually makes me really upset, because I spent a lot of my time volunteering as a child. I worked with a nursing home. I did food banks. I did a lot of charity fundraisers. You know, I always tried to help, and that's something that I think people should experience. And I've been in situations where I have been the unfortunate party, and luckily right now I am in a place where I can help the unfortunate party.
But I don't think I've thought about it long enough to be able to concretely like tell you I have a good reason for thinking I'm a good person or thinking I'm not a good person. But I think I just have more reasons to be a bad person than a good person.
Self-care sort of thing, like not giving a fuck about anything, just taking care of yourself. And then there's like doing good for people, which is going out and like volunteering and donating and spending your time for others. And there's many different ways that I think that you can be good. It just depends on what matters to you.
Towards myself, no, I'm not a good person. Towards others, like it can be random stranger. Yeah, I am a good person towards.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say so.
Sometimes. I'm good.
I think every human is capable of doing good things or bad things, but that doesn't necessarily make them a good or a bad person. If you look at something like a wolf, right? A wolf kills in order to live. It has to. But that's just its natural survival instinct. It doesn't think itself good or evil. It's an animal. They don't have critical thinking. They're just living their best life in a way that they need to survive. It doesn't make them evil just because they've killed someone.
Try and do good for the world. Reduce your carbon footprint. Try to eat less meat because it's healthier and good for the animals. And don't take life for granted. You could be born as anything, and you're born as a human, which is the most intelligent thing that the universe even knows. You could have been born an ant. Don't take it for granted. You only got one life.
I guess my final message would be always your authentic self unapologetically and like aggressively. I forget the word I was about to say. Now I feel like an idiot.
I would say always
always put your best foot forward and stay confident in who you are. Even if you don't feel confident at the time, just put your best face forward and your best foot forward at all times.
What people call the golden rule, which is treat others as you want to be treated. And I really kind of make that like my personal philosophy. Like seriously, again, if you've got nothing nice to say to someone, don't say it. Just say something nice about them. You never know how that person is doing. That person could be going through breakup. They could be going through family problems. They could have a family member dying.
The first thing that comes to mind and is very heightened lately with everything going on in the world, treat others how you would like to be treated.
I think a good piece of advice that I've always like found and forgot and rediscovered just over time that I've found really useful is that a lot of it seems like kind of dumb and like kind of cheesy a lot of the time, but a lot of the time experiences and things can feel so big, but it's always important to consider how much it's still going to affect you in like a day or maybe a week or maybe a year, because some of the things that I could be really sad about right now, I won't care about in a year. They'll be just a memory, or maybe I won't even remember them. So it's important to just appreciate the things that you have and be happy with what you have.
Think for yourself. Don't be hive-minded. Don't follow other people. Develop your own opinions. That sort of thing. Be independent. That's all I can say.
Whoever you are, believe in yourself. Never let other people determine your life. Whenever mobbing is taking place, disregarded. Be yourself. Trust in your deepest friends and go your own way.
Everyone just needs to start being nice to each other. Fuck all this other shit. Just kind of you do you and treat everyone else with respect, and the world will get a hell of a lot further than it is now. Just that simple.
Try extend kindness to other people, because one day you're going to rely on that kindness, and sometimes it won't happen, but sometimes you may deserve it. Were you so kind to the people? Maybe not. But like I said, that analogy earlier with the homeless person, somebody down in the dumps, not doing the best in their life. They ask for some change. You want to help. You can. Some people will. Some people won't. That's also fine. It's just nice to help people, because at the end of the world, it's all we have. We're a human planet of human people. We are all capable of emotion, and if we don't try our best for each other, then what do we have? Dividing natures. That's not the way to live life. What VR has taught me is meet so many people and just have a good time.
Kindness is contagious. When you are kind, you inspire others. Be the spark. Spreading kindness merchandise available now.